All right. Forgive me on this one if I get one wrong because they are tricky. Notice the last one, the IXL link, you were just looking for the number of outcomes. Now you are finding probability. So don't just put a number, make sure you have a fraction and make sure you simplify it. All right, so if you flip 3 fair coins, fair meaning it has a head and a tail, what is the probability that the first 2 flips will both be heads and the third flip will be either heads or tails? So you need to set up 3 fractions. So I would draw 3 blank fractions for this. And what's the probability that you'll get heads on the first one? Should be 1 out of 2, right? The second one should be the same, 1 out of 2 again. And then the third one is a little different. The third flip will be either heads or tails. Well, what are your chances of getting heads or tails? Should be 2 out of 2. So I have written down 1 out of 2 times 1 out of 2 times 2 out of 2, which is going to give me 2 out of 8 or 1 out of 4. A 1 out of 4 chance of this occurring. Yay, I got it right. All right, you're at a clothing store that dyes your clothes while you wait. You get to pick from 4 pieces of clothing, shirt, pants, socks, or hat, and 3 colors, purple, blue, or orange. If you randomly pick the piece of clothing and the color, what is the probability that you'll end up with an orange hat? Remember that whatever outcome you're looking for, typically there's only one of those outcomes. In the last question, we had 2 because it asked for heads or tails. But in this one, you've only got 1 shot to get an orange hat. So you're going to have 1 occurrence of an orange hat. And then you've got to put that over the total number of outcomes, the total number of possible outcomes that you can get. Well, to find that, you take the number of this choice times the number of the next choice. So 4 times 3 is 12. So 1 out of 12 chance that you're going to pick an orange hat. If you flip 3 fair coins, what is the probability that you'll get all 3 tails? I hope you'll agree with me that you should get, or the probability of getting tails on the first toss is 1 out of 2. So you're going to use 1 out of 2 for all 3 of these. You need 3 fractions for this. And each time you write down the probability of getting a tail, it should be 1 out of 2. So I have written down 1 out of 2 times 1 out of 2 times 1 out of 2, which is 1 out of 8. Be careful that you multiply the bottom numbers. Don't get 1 out of 6. And be careful that you don't add the top numbers and get 3. So 1 out of 6 chance that you toss tail, tail, tail. Uh-oh, what did I do wrong? Grief, I said 1 out of 8 and then I typed 1 out of 6. 1 out of 8 should be the correct answer. Now, I'm hoping you don't just get the same problems and copy my answers. I really need you to think about this and work at probability. It can be tricky sometimes. All right, last one. If you roll 2 fair-sided dice, what is the probability that the sum is 9 or higher? Right, this is a tougher one, not in that it's hard, it takes a little time. You have to write out all of the outcomes. So sum means add, so later on we're going to add, but what I did is I wrote 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, and I think you get where I'm going there. So I wrote out all of the possible outcomes. Well, 6 times 6 possible outcomes is 36 possible. And then you have to look at what you have and add them up and find how many have a sum of 9 or higher. So some we're adding. So I've got this all written down. You can't see it obviously, but I counted 10 out of the 36 that are 9 or higher. Well, you're going to have to simplify that. So if you simplify that, you get 5 out of 18. All right, so good luck on these. Don't be afraid to come back and look at this video. There's lots of little ins and outs, so you'll figure them out. You'll miss some though. Good luck.